Alright, so today we're going to be doing something a little different. Today we're going to be doing Reddit stories. And we're going to read some stories from Reddit. And I'm going to give you my opinion. Now, I've got this story here from the Am I the A-hole subreddit. Title is, Am I the A-hole for punishing my 16-year-old stepdaughter after we found out she was bullying a kid for being poor? Hi Reddit. About 2 months ago, my wife, F38, and I, M31, learned my stepdaughter, F16, was bullying a girl in school over being poor, getting free lunch at school, and not being able to afford necessities such as her own car and stuff. Our daughter was kind of spoiled. We provided her with everything she needed along with an allowance and a part-time job at my company. We've been considered middle class, doing things others weren't as privileged to do, such as buying our daughter a car on her 16th birthday. I come home from a family of immigrants and was considered in poverty growing up. After learning about the bullying, I was furious as we thought we didn't raise her to behave that way. She was in honors and top ranking of her class. I tried to talk to our daughter over why she would do that, and I was disturbed to learn it was because she viewed that girl as trailer trash, which irritated me. The girl, from what I learned, is very smart and works hard. She bought her own beater car by herself and works 2 jobs. She considered the money our family had as our family's money, so I put her in her place and told her that it was not her money but her mom and I's money. I decided from that point I was spoiling my daughter too much. We ended up taking away her last iPhone and replacing it with an old iPhone 8 with a talk and text plan. We took away her family credit card, sold her car along with her MacBook and other luxuries. I also told her she would have to find a job without nepotism and work a minimum wage job like everybody else her age, because I'm done giving her handouts if she's gonna act entitled. Fast forward 2 months later, she's working at a fast food restaurant with us driving her around. She doesn't talk to me unless she needs something like a ride, but is very upset with me. My wife feels like I am taking this too far because it's affecting her social status and grades and school. However, I feel like she needs to be humbled because I can't have a daughter who would disrespect people just because of the amount of money they have. I also feel that she behaving this way will affect her younger sister, F12, and how she perceives the world. Am I the a-hole for punishing my 16-year-old stepdaughter after we found out she was bullying a kid for being poor? Do I think you're the a-hole for that? Not really. Do I think you're taking it too far? Maybe. Stepdaughter's definitely the a-hole for bullying that girl for being poor. I know what it's like to be poor. I went to poor schools. I'm better off in life now than I ever was, even better than I was 2 years ago by like leaps and bounds. I know what it's like to come from that background. Like, I came from that. I lived that experience growing up. Thankfully, my family was fortunate enough to be able to put food on the table every day. We never went without, but I definitely got the free school lunches in school. When I was in high school, all the other kids, or most of the other kids, used to get allowances. I never had an allowance growing up. I barely got anything for my birthdays. I remember what it took for my grandmother, who was the one who raised me, for her to buy me a pair of shoes. It took for the shoes that I currently had, because I had like 1 pair at the time, for my toes to be visibly coming out of the front of the sneaker, for her to actually buy me a pair of shoes. And I remember asking her, it wasn't even anything expensive. I asked her for a pair of Converse, which were like 40 bucks at the time. But yeah, like, I know what that's like. So some kids are like that. They're extremely privileged and they believe that just because you have lesser than them means you are lesser than. What I've seen is people like that tend to not appreciate the small things, the things that they actually have, because they don't know what it's like to actually be poor and work for your stuff. I've known people like that. I know people like that. People who pretty much grew up being handed everything that they currently have, and so they don't appreciate the things that they have. They don't like to work for the things that they need to work for because they believe that they deserve it because they grew up that way. So yeah, she's definitely the a-hole for bullying that girl. Luckily, I went to public school, and everybody in my school, I mean, no one in my school was rich, and obviously, like, most people were poor, but no one was that poor. But even the kids that were better off, that was not a thing. Like, nobody ever bullied you in school for not having or going without, right? Like, that's not a thing that I never got to experience. So I was very lucky in that regard. Now, are you the a-hole? I don't think that you're the a-hole. I do think that you are taking it too far in the punishment. I can see making her get a job. I don't see why sell the car. Could have punished her, maybe have her without the car for about a month, make her get the minimum wage job, change her iPhone, sure, but punish her just for a month. Now, the fact that she is reacting the way that she is makes me feel like she believes that she's in the right, like she did nothing wrong, like she's mad at you for punishing her, even though I do believe that the punishment is a little excessive. Like, there's got to be a lesson here. You can't just say, I'm going to punish you indefinitely because I don't want you to grow up that way and I don't want you to corrupt your sister. But there's got to be an end to the punishment. Even people that go to prison get a prison sentence. You've effectively not given her a prison sentence. She doesn't know whether she's grounded for a month, 2 months, 3 months. This is, to her, it's indefinite. She's basically in jail for life right now. So that's where I would say, where I think you should reevaluate. There should be an ending to the punishment. And so I do agree with your wife there that maybe you are taking it a little bit too far. You do come from a similar background as mine, which is, poverty. I'm an immigrant also. I wasn't born in the US. I was lucky enough to have food on the table every day. I never went without, but I definitely ate free school lunches and no one ever made fun of me for it. That's what I think about this whole situation. Are you the a-hole? No. Is your stepdaughter the a-hole? Yeah, she shouldn't have been bullying that girl, but I do think you are taking it too far. Anyways, guys, that's all I got for this video. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below. Is he right? Is he wrong? Or what do you think the solution should be? Let me know in the comments. Peace.